not gonna take away our drama. No. They're not gonna take away our romance. No. They're not gonna take away our souls. I am united with strength and divided with fall. Come on, let's show them. Let's give it all. Let's show them that we stand.
This is the documentary, Disney, from Prince Charming to the Wicked Witch. Well, why would Disney be characterized as a wicked witch? Well, soap opera fans all over this country know what I'm talking about. Some of the most beloved soap operas have been canceled by Disney. All My Children, One Life to Live, and General Hospital were canceled by ABC. ABC is owned by Disney. Several other primetime shows, including Desperate Housewives and Brother and Sister, were also canceled. Now, how could such beloved shows be canceled? All these shows employ actors, writers, and directors. Now, if ABC does not produce them, then they don't have to pay actors, writers, and directors. And they'll probably be replaced by reality shows where actors won't get paid, nor will writers. Quality program as we've known it is slowly disappearing. For instance, All My Children is being replaced by a reality cooking show. Now, Disney, from Prince Charming to the Wicked Witch, like, they're the Wicked Witch because they're responsible for the death of these programs. These beloved soap operas. For decades, these soap operas have been entertaining people. So ABC answers to Disney. Disney is therefore responsible for the end of soap operas as we've known them. Now, what happened to the culture of Disney? Disney, the family company, how is it that the image has gone from one of happiness and goodness to one of being the Wicked Witch, one of being a bully? Well, there is an independent filmmaker, Royce Mathew is his name, and he has critiqued the culture of Disney, and he says the following, and it's quite a bit. He says that the Walt Disney Company was at the brink of being sold or taken apart in the 1980s. And then what happened was that Roy Disney wanted to do something, and he brought in Michael Eisner. Michael Eisner, and pushed out Ron Miller. Now, Ron Miller was Walt Disney's son-in-law. Ron Miller was trained under Walt Disney. But soon, Eisner became a crazed leader. Now, this is coming from this book, Disney War by James Stewart, and there's another book called How the Grinch Stole Disney by Norman Floyd. All of the corrupt and criminal and putrid things are all from Michael Eisner and his hand-picked people, including Bob Iger. Michael Eisner is still in control of the company. It is through Michael Eisner and Marty Sklar, his #1 yes man, that Eisner executes his plan for total control. A few months after Iger was appointed by Eisner to be the new CEO, Iger and the board renamed the corporate Team Disney building to the Team Disney Michael Eisner building. Well, why even state this? I mean, what it is that you're trying to get a grasp on why Disney's culture has changed. Well, in the book, it states that the corrupt board of directors, still empowered by Eisner and for the purpose of Eisner, remains seated. Thus, only through getting the word out and through the independent way will anyone ever have a chance of pushing for accountability and righteous change. Now, this is important because what has happened is that the soap operas have been taken away as we've known it. And Disney, ABC they're in charge of it. They have made the decision to do this. There has to be some accountability for them doing this. The fans want their soaps. Now, Michael Eisner and his hand-picked people, including Bob Iger, sold Pixar was sold to Disney for nearly $8 billion, which Royce Mathews believes is about 15% control of the company. Michael Eisner owns about 750 million shares, and with his appointed people in power in the company, they own about $1 billion in Disney shares. In 2004, after the Walt Disney Company was called soulless, Roy E. Disney, Ron M. Miller, Diane Disney, Stanley Gold started a campaign website to save Disney from the corruption of Michael Eisner. Michael Eisner was forced to resign a year before his contract was up. They claimed to campaign to find a new CEO, but as the book says, Disney War, he put his master plan in action. And I'm going to read directly from the book of just what happened. And this is 524. In Eisner's master plan, as the director describes it, Iger would assume the chief executive's title in 2006. Eisner would remain as chairman, and nothing much would really have changed. Gold and Roy were certainly skeptical in a September 13 letter to board members. While Mr. Eisner's announcement at first blush looks like a major change, it is in truth mere window dressing, they warned. What he has really proposed is a scheme to arrogate the authority of the board and maintain the status quo at the company's expense. His succession plan is for a company led by Michael Eisner and his obedient lieutenant, Bob Iger, to be handed over to Michael Eisner and Bob Iger. So this is an example of the culture of Disney going from Prince Charming to the Wicked Witch. Well, they brought the lawsuit, and in the suit, Mr. Disney and his financial advisor, Stanley P. Gold, accused the Disney Company of holding a sham search for a successor to the chief executive, Michael D. Eisner. Mr. Gold and Mr. Disney contend that the search was a sham and that Disney's president, Robert A. Iger, had been anointed by Mr. Eisner to succeed him on October 1st. Well, Roy E. Disney dropped the suit, and when they offered him his job back. Well, when did things start to go wrong? Almost everyone who has ever worked at Disney offers the same answer. And they talk about the death of Frank Wells. Now, Frank Wells dies in 1994, and I want to read directly from the book, Disney War, and it is in the epilogue, and the words are very similar. And it says, when did things go wrong? This is page 531. Almost everyone who has ever worked at Disney offers the same answer. The sudden and tragic death of Frank Wells in 1994 10 years into Eisner's reign. They argue that Wells was Eisner's check and balance, his rudder, his sounding board. Wells, and Wells alone, could question Eisner, disagree with him, get him to change his mind. When anyone had a problem with Eisner, from Katzenberg on down, they would go to Frank for redress. Wells was their ombudsman, their court of appeal. He made Disney executives feel valued and appreciated, leavening Eisner's sometimes harsh demand for ever hard work followed by scant praise. There is no doubt a good deal of truth to these assessments. So here you have James B. Stewart. He was authorized to write this book by Eisner himself, and his assessment is with Frank Wells's death. So this is an attempt, going to this book, Royce Mathews, myself, the producer of this documentary, Tessa McKenzie, to try to figure out what happened to Disney. Why did Disney go from being Prince Charming to the Wicked Witch, to being a bully, to ending the soap operas as we've known them? The soap operas that have been enjoyed for decades in this country. We look to reason. Disney offers some reason as to why the culture of Disney changed.